What is up, bitches? My name is Steely, and this video, like many others, is a Hollow Knight speculation or theory video. So, of course, we have the obligatory Silksong footage playing in the background. For your enjoyment, my viewer, because I love you so much. This may come as a surprise to many of you watching, due to the, obviously god-tier quality of this video, but this is my first time making any kind of content like this, as in theory content. I've never done anything like this before, so please, be gentle. I've searched far and wide, figuring out this whole thing, trying to piece it together. So, I hope that about a week of work from some nobody kid on YouTube is worth even a moment of your time. Or even just something that you can distract yourself with while you're washing dishes or some crap. Well, anyways, enough with the introductions. Let's get on to what you're here for, shall we? We're all set. Okay, here I have my good friend, Scum2000. He has his own YouTube channel under the name Scum2000, of course. And I brought you on here so that you could talk a little bit about the Void and its connection to Steel, because you made a video on that yourself, yes?
Yes, I've been experimenting with Silksong speculation content. And so far I've made a video on why the Void will be in Silksong, basically. So in Hollow Knight there were Gigi and Jin, and they talked as Jin is the steel person. And in Hollow Knight, when you get the Void Heart and unify the Void under your will, you when you go up to them, they compare you to their masters. And meaning that their masters have to be related to the Void, and there's steel people in Silksong. So yeah, they're Void and they're in Silksong. Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course. And don't forget to go and check out his channel, because very fun content over there. Bug lore, and also toaster bathtub.
Yeah.
Go find out what that's about yourself, viewers. Alright, goodbye. Hello, it's just me again now. Just wanting to say one more time to go and check out Scum2000's channel. I'm going to leave his video about the Steel and its correlation with the Void linked in the description, so that all of you can go check it out. And yeah, maybe give him a sub, because he's making quality content. As I'm sure you've already noticed if you watch the Silksong footage religiously, like I do, going back to it at least twice a week to just look over its magnificence once again, you know, just bathe myself in its glory. There are two steel creatures which appear, and they're just kind of, you know, like vibing. You see them, they're probably gonna put a little clip of it on screen. They're just vibing. They're just kind of vibing. So basically, this clip proves that the steel beings are able to shoot out beams of light, similarly to the crystals in the Crystal Peak. By looking at it, you can see that the beam charges quickly, focusing at the tip of this little pointing device and shooting out with a thunder light crash. The pointing device tracks Hornet with a small, thin tracking laser, while still mobile. It's rendered immobile along with the small steel being when the damaging laser begins to fire. This same attack, or at least a pretty similar version of it, is shared with a couple of adversaries in the Hollow Knight universe that we've seen so far in the first game. Fucking Rock? Crystal. The little moss creeps, but they're crystals. Little crystal moss creep. You know the one that I'm talking about. He looks so disturbed. Something's tormenting deep inside of his soul.
Oh, you playing Minecraft? I like your cut, G.
You got this fucking cokehead and his son that lives upstairs, if you know what I mean. You don't fucking know what I mean, do you? But as a wise man once said, you can't uncover something's true similarities before opening your eyes to their differences. And that wise man is me, and I said that right now. Hashtag deep, I know. Well, there seems to be two main types of lasers that can be broken down into subcategories throughout the games. So there's the quick focus lasers, which are used by the Crystal Guardian and the Steel Being. These are beings that seem to be able to charge up their shots quicker, and they share similar thunderous crashing sound effects when shot. These beams burst and only last for a few seconds. Then there's the long focus laser. Things that seem to shoot slower than natural crystals, as well as the crystal crawlers, I think they're called, seem to have natural crystals growing on their backs. And one thing to notice about the crystal crawlers is that unlike the Crystal Guardian and the Steel Being, they aren't able to control the laser, so it's mostly the crystal doing the shooting, not the little guy. The natural crystals seem to have a longer charge time, and they last longer than the quick charge. They do not have the same thunderous crashing sound, maybe because the energy is dispersed over a longer time instead of in one large burst. Another separating variable throughout all of these different lasers is their color. Up until this point in time, we've only seen two types of lasers in the Hollow Knight game, the original. There's pink crystal lasers, as well as the orange crystal lasers, which are lasers that have been deeply affected by the infection in the Enraged Guardian. Even with the crystals, like the crystal's color of pink is like a more towards the white side as it goes further out from the crystal. And I'm not entirely sure why this is. Like, maybe there's no real like secret lore reason inside of the game, but after a quick search on Google, it just says basically that when a light is passing through a medium, the medium absorbs the energy from the light. This absorption and the light interacts with the particle in the medium, gives objects which causes to get excited and releases them back. And listen, honestly, I don't even know what the fuck half of that shit means. Okay, listen, we're Hollow Knight fans, not Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick, Rick and Morty 100 years fans. Okay, so basically what it's just trying to say is fucking, I think that when the light go through funny color, it make light funny color. Yeah. Once again, I'm not entirely sure if there is an actual lore reason. That's just an answer that I found off of Google, but that's not what this video is about, is it? Maybe I could make a separate video touching on the subject a little bit. Or maybe not. So this is where the video starts to slip a little bit less from observations and more into theories. So take everything I say from here forward with a grain of salt. None of this has been confirmed by Team Cherry, but it seems the stuff that I'm talking about here is likely. The information that I gathered for this section of the video comes from a document about the relations of crystals within the Crystal Peak and Soul. So as to not basically repeat everything that's in that document in this video, I'm going to leave it linked in the description for anybody who is interested. I know this must seem fairly obvious to many of you watching who can't survive without these charms, but how about a quick refresher for all you who haven't used them on your main build in a while? The Quick Focus charm uses soul energy and speeds up the process of focusing, but only heals one mask of health at a time. The Quick Focus laser charges up quickly, using a certain energy, and expends this energy in a quick, concentrated blast that loses energy or power quickly. Now, as cited from the document in the description, the Quick Focus charm is stated to clearly being a lens, which in normal use either focuses light to a point or defocuses it to cover a wider area, being a convergent and divergent lens respectively. As we can see that the Quick Focus increases the rate at which the player can heal with Soul Focus, it wouldn't be out of the question to assume the Quick Focus charm acts as a converging lens. With this, it would now seem that crystals, if formed properly, can not only focus light or infection, but also soul. Both focus charms seem to have traces of a metal-like substance that may or may not be related to steel. The quick focus charm seems to be made mostly of this metal, with a crystal lens in the center. While on the other hand, the deep focus charm is made up of pretty much completely crystals, giving it a more natural look. The quick focus laser has been pretty much exclusively used by living creatures who became infected in the Crystal Peak, which hints at the quick focus being artificially made. The dwellers of the peak seem to have a prowess for engineering, as seen through the giant machines and contraptions that we see throughout this area, so the quick focus charm being artificially made is pretty likely. Now, the deep focus charm uses soul energy, but slows down the process of focusing. This results in 2 masks being gained in one sitting from the process of focus healing. This is comparable to the long focus lasers, which take longer to charge but are expelled in bursts of equally distributed energy that last longer than the quick focus lasers. Now, another citation from the text says, "Unlike quick focus, which is implied to have been intentionally formed to augment soul abilities, the deep focus charm is stated to have been naturally formed. This would also seem to reinforce the idea that crystals can naturally interact with soul. Although it would seem as opposed to all the other natural crystals seen in Crystal Peak, the deep focus charm appears to be far more potent in this ability." Furthermore, the deep focus charm's description goes on to state it draws in soul from the surrounding air. Not only does this state that the soul, as an energy, is always present in the air, proven by the fact that it restores 2 masks anywhere on the map, not just in places where soul would be more common, but also that it can be thought to act as a diverging lens, spreading the soul it absorbs out to heal more masks, but in doing so, it weakens the potency of said soul, so it takes longer to recover the 2 masks. Another interesting factor that seems to connect the steel being to the soul is the fact that they emit what seems to be 2 types of particles in their midst. Small soul bubbles, like seen throughout the game in areas such as the hot springs, and these little white swirly particles. They aren't like anything that we've seen in the game so far, at least not anything that I can recall. The fact that not only the small steel being has these particles emanating from it, what could theoretically be soul bubbles of some kind, could hint at the fact that the large steel being has some other sort of soul ability. Anyways, this is pretty much all of the information that I've collected about the steel and its possible correlation to the soul. Please remember to go down into the description and check out the videos and document that I linked, because people worked hard on those, and they also deserve some tender love. Feel free to go down into the comments and leave any input or opinions you have about my theory. Or just to call me things like a stupid, smelly, stinky boy. That would be pretty dang epic. No cost too great. I'm gonna spit some fire like the mace bug. Economy's grave dug because of all the buzz, so I suck up all the information I can get and then reveal it like Facebook. Don't know what coolers do the elder bug. Got more wisdom and grace than the elders of the flame to grim the ancient ways of avoiding child support and making a grand escape. And early in the morning, after a nice hefty glass of OJ, I place my hand to my heart and pledge allegiance to the Grover Wall. A bell gang is the Yakuza coming overhaul and over.